finally. This is one of the worst MMA fights in UFC 1 history. And I just laugh my ass off. Guys, every time I watch fights like this, I always see stupidity happening. Royce Gracie, the Gracie name, taken on a boxer with multiple losses in his career, and he's barely being ranked at, for God knows why. He's a friggin' NABA cruiserweight champion. This guy has 5 losses in his career, and he's about to take on, like, okay, hear me out. Let me start back from day one. So in September, Art Jimerson already won his 29th fight. And of course, on January the 9th, 2 months after this event's over, he's going to take on Orlin Norris, which is somewhat of a cruiserweight and heavyweight contender at the time. He's going to take him on for the top rank to be part of the top ranks of boxing, if that makes sense to you viewers, okay? So there's no way that he's going to fight 3 full fights in this one tournament if he's going to get prepared to take on Orlin Norris. So obviously Royce Gracie knows. But you want to know what's stupid about this? Royce enters the fight first. He talks this or that. Art Jimerson comes in wearing a boxing glove. He has one hand. The rules in UFC 1 said that there are no rules. You're not supposed to wear gloves or any other type of stuff. He wears one boxing glove and his other hand not wrapped with a boxing glove. And he's wearing boxing shoes. He can't kick Royce Gracie. This was dumb. This match is dumb. It's making my nose itch. I hated it. So you get this fighter coming out, and the announcers are even saying, this is what the announcer said. Like, Kathy Long did say that boxing is somewhat limited because there's too many rules in boxing, Bill Wallace said. And they were complaining about that due to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But Bill Wallace said, and I quote, Jimerson tried the techniques of this style of fighting, but he gave it up because I'm going to do what I've been doing for the last several years. And then they show the postcard screen boxer, and all you're seeing him is he's riding a friggin' bicycle. 196-pound dude taking on a 180-something pound Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the lightest fighter. Keep this in mind, Royce Gracie is lighter than anyone else in the tournament. And Jimerson's second. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh yeah, and by the way, every time, guys, keep this in mind, the announcer sometimes goes on the ring and announces the fighters. He always announces the second fighter that came into the ring first. Well, he announces, this is what in UFC, okay, let me explain. One fighter enters in the ring. The second fighter enters in the ring. The announcer announces the second fighter that entered in the ring first. And the last one that entered first. But I do think in the semifinals and finals, he would actually change it to one fighter enter in the ring first, and he'll name him first and name him second. I don't know if that's a factor in boxing or some other sports, but I just found that a little bit ridiculous. But anyway, the fight starts. They come over, and you're seeing Royce Gracie with a low side kick. He's having his right foot. Like, he'll pick up his right foot once in a while if he does to scare out his fighter. And my head's shaking because Art Jimerson is trying to step forward with his boxing glove on his left hand, and every time Royce tries to go for the kick right, he backs him up. And in 1 minute of the fight, and Royce isn't doing nothing. He's just, like, Royce knows he can win. He just wants to make sure he's not getting punched. But the thing is this an 8-ounce boxing glove or any other type of ounce box glove? Because I don't think it's going to hurt Royce Gracie if it's a soft glove. But I don't know about that. But the fight ends where Royce Gracie, so this is how the fight ended. Royce goes for a pick. He picks up his right leg. He goes under, grabs Art's legs, takes him down, and then he goes on top of him. He smothers his opponent. This is the first time a fighter has ever won in a UFC fight by a smother choke. He wraps Art's legs, puts his legs straight on. Art can't pick his legs up. He's holding on, and then suddenly he wraps up Royce Gracie's arms. He can't even hold on to his arms grab because he has a boxing glove on. Even the announcers said that I would rather take off that boxing glove off because he can't grab. And even one of the announcers said if I were him, he might have well taken that thing off. And after he said that, he taps. Even Art kept tapping because he couldn't breathe because he was getting smother choked. He was tapping so much that the referee was putting his hands like this on the ground, like, okay, take it easy. Like the way the stupid referee had his white Michael Jackson goes on, he's putting his hands like this. Like it's like all right, take it easy. I'll be there. It's like the referee didn't give a shit. It almost looked like he wanted Royce to murder him. It was just so. The referee. There are two referees here, and I'm not going to name them because it's going to be horrible. But it was so incompetently stupid. Like he tapped out a while ago, and the referee was just standing there saying, all right, take it easy. What am I supposed to do? And then Royce gets off of him and he puts his hands up. The crowd boos because they know. It was just so. This was a horrible fight. Guys, this is why I actually thought Francis Ngannou was going to do a good job against Anthony Joshua, because sometimes MMA fighters have more skills of holding them together because they know their differences from lengths reach to actually to attack a person, which in boxing, you have to be within arm's length of punching a person. Of course, AJ got lucky on Ngannou because he was in a boxing ring. Art Jimerson, he was in an MMA ring against a jiu-jitsu. So, of course, it was a mismatch. But at the end of the day, you can be like Anderson Silva taking on Chavez Jr. and how that fight ended. So, yeah, sometimes an MMA fighter can do an unbelievable moment in boxing. But yeah. But, by the way, guys, here's the one thing I will say, though. I will say, though, now, guys, remember the commentator, a sideline commentator, Rod? The guy that talks so much about the Gracies on this show? He actually said, after they left the ring and they were going to get to the fight, he actually said, and I quote, 95% of the fights, according to PD police department studies, the jiu-jitsu man, his element, anybody else on the ground who doesn't know grappling is like a fish out of water. So obviously, you can already tell what we're getting ourselves into, that this was promoted by Gracie's. But I can't tell if that's true or not. It is what it is.